Watch this. No way!
Hello and welcome back to the Cookie Jar Golf Podcast. I am not your host, Tom Mills, for today. I'm your host, Sam Williams. Tom is currently quarantining himself. Guys, really interesting episode for you today. Before we jump into it, don't forget you can get in touch with us, and thank you for those that have on @CookieJarGolf, and you can get a hold of us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe on podcasts. We're going to be dropping content every week with or without the virus. So I'm joined today in the biscuit mill by Mr. Bruce Fitzpatrick.
Hello.
And Callum Wing.
Hello.
Hi, Cal.
Good to be here
Yeah.
in difficult circumstances.
Well, it's just a weird one, isn't it, this pod today? Like, I kind of feel like the world doesn't need another 30-minute dissection on coronavirus, but there is very little else actually out there that's seemingly important to talk about right now.
All live sport cancelled. I mean, where do you look? There's only so many TV series you can watch on Netflix.
Do you know what I've realised? I've realised how little substance there is to my life without live sport.
I used to find it, there's just nothing to watch. There's only so many series you can say you can watch. But to be fair, Sky Sports Golf have been thrashing some interesting ones out. I think we had the Players' Championship from 87 this morning, which was,
what was it like?
It looked like you were watching it either through tinfoil or through, it was like CFAX with commentary.
Tracing paper or something.
Yeah.
Who won?
I watched it to the end, but Greg Norman looked like he was doing pretty well.
See, when you go that far back, you can still derive enjoyment from it because you don't really... Well, I certainly don't know who's going to win the 1987 Players, but when the 2019 Players comes on, as it has done recently,
It's pointless.
it's just like it's a bit of a dampener, isn't it, knowing that McIlroy is going to roast drive up 18 and win by one over Jim Furyk, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be
The
nice to
whole way
watch some
around.
sort of pre-97 sort of tour events, wouldn't it? Where it's kind of like a bit of nostalgic value, I think. There,
Shell's Wonderful World of Golf, etc.
Loads of that. They've got that on repeat.
Yeah.
So we're in our uncharted territory, I think it's fair to say. I mean, only a week ago we were talking about the Bay Hill Classic. We were really looking forward to the Players. Here we are. And I don't know about you guys, but I just couldn't believe the speed with which everything unfolded this week.
Yeah, it's crazy, wasn't it? I mean, was it halfway through the first round on Thursday, they said they weren't going to allow spectators in for the final 3 days, and then obviously we being UK podcasters, when we woke up on the Friday morning, it had just been completely cancelled. If you were Hideki Matsuyama and you shot 63, you'd be absolutely livid, wouldn't you?
Gutted.
Even
Absolutely
our
gutted.
man Verzudenhout with I think was he 7?
He was 7 under, yeah, only 2 back.
I felt really bad for both of them,
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I think that was a shame for them. But, I mean...
Right call, isn't it? Definitely the right call, I think. Just looking at what's going on all around the world,
Yeah.
every other major sporting event's pretty much been cancelled.
You can't be the outlier, can you? I mean,
No.
golf's got enough things kind of going against it, I think, half the time. So to be the outlier that staunchly stood there and say, no, we're still going to play it behind closed doors, I think, it's clearly the right thing.
Definitely.
But
And I think we should probably use this moment as a little shout out to that fan who on day one managed to, bring a little bit of laughter to a otherwise pretty bleak situation by going up to Patrick Reed and asking him to sign his shovel.
Did you see it, Cal?
So I didn't see it, but I picked up on it on Twitter. I can't remember who one of the guys said. It might have been Nick Doherty or someone like that was, I think, had just suddenly clocked it. Actually, no, it wasn't Nick Doherty. It was old senior tour legend Barry Lane that clocked it. And he actually brought... The fact that some guy got a shovel into the tournament in the first place was incredible. And then sort of 2 minutes later, you actually realised, okay, it was like a virtual shovel, which is even funnier.
They drove him off, didn't they? He was kicked out of the tournament, I think.
Which he loved, and I think everyone else did.
And that could be the last bit of levity we're going to see on the PGA Tour for a little while. I kind of saw what happened with the Players and then accepted kind of the cancellation up to the Masters. And then it was like, wow, this shit's serious now. The Masters is gone. That was... Postponed, correct.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe we should use this as an opportunity as well to just kind of flag a couple of things to our listeners. Next week, we've got a really exciting guest interview lined up with Sam Clapham, who's an England Golf Club support officer. So that's all pre-recorded and loaded up. So we're looking forward to giving you guys that. I think that'll be really interesting and insightful.
Yeah, we'll release that Sunday night.
That'll be Sunday
Same as
night.
usual.
And then we talked about the Masters player who's going to be joining us. Bruce, do you maybe want to just talk a little bit about Lucas? And
Yeah, sure. So a few weeks ago, we recorded a podcast with my good friend Lucas Michel, who is the reigning US mid-amateur champion and was due to be playing in the Masters in a few weeks' time, but sadly that's all been postponed. So he's just been chatting to him recently, and he's obviously in a tricky situation, being out there and having those events change on him so quickly. But we've still got a great podcast. Probably went for a good hour and a half there, didn't we, guys?
yeah, 2 episodes. So it's a 2-parter. It's an absolute belter, and it's actually not too heavy on Augusta talk. But,
Yeah. So we've still got that to release, which is in the chamber and ready to go.
it's good. We're all locked and loaded. But coming back to it, it's really sad, I guess, for Lucas, but not just Lucas. Everyone, all the patrons, everyone who loves the Masters. I think it's without question the flagship event in golf.
Yeah,
And this is where we're at. I mean, are we going to get it in later this year?
I think so. Yeah, I mean,
Because we were just talking earlier about it, and I didn't actually realise that Augusta closes. Was it May through to October?
Yeah, that's right. So because of the temperature you get down there in that time of year, basically they burn the course off every year. So they just water the green complexes. They keep them kind of well looked after and manicured. But then the course just burns off right through. And the players, I think members can go back until about October. So anyone who's looking forward to joining Augusta should carry a caveat that it's only available 6 months of the year. You'd be a little bit gutted, wouldn't you? But joking aside, clearly they're going to have to think about when that gets scheduled for, if they can get that in 2020 rather.
Seemed all the money was going on for a fall, as they call it out there. So that's probably
November time, perhaps.
Gonna be,
something like
yeah,
that, October,
mid,
November.
October, November.
That'd be something to look forward to, I suppose, if nothing else.
It's probably a bit more realistic, isn't it, than a May? I mean, it would just be too soon to try and get everything in place for a May fixture. But yeah, I reckon maybe late September, but more likely than that, October, November time is when they're going to look to reschedule it for.
I think so. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, you mentioned we were talking in the week, weren't you? And I guess kind of places like the Masters, these are huge events. They don't want to play these things behind closed doors, right?
No.
It wouldn't be the same, I don't think.
No, definitely not. I mean, you look at what a wonderful moment it was for not just golf fans, but sports fans all over the world watching Tiger make his comeback and win his 15th major last year. And the idea that, someone could be going on to kind of follow him and hit a brilliant 8-iron into the 16th green, have it trickle back towards the hole, nearly go in, and no one's applauding or no one's making any noise. You just look. It would make it terrible viewing, really, wouldn't it, on TV?
It'd be kind of like the Woods Mickelson match at Shadow Creek they did last year or whatever, which was. I mean, that wasn't easy on the eye, was it?
I'm sure Sky will just do a pure replay minute by minute of last year's coverage, so we can still have our sleeper on Sunday night.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Actually.
Just relive Tiger's victory.
Oh, lovely.
Something like that.
Provided we're not
Or
self-isolating.
pick one from the 80s, or maybe a Sandy Lyle, something like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it does raise a question of how far in advance these kind of championship committees throughout the golfing world are going to make these calls to cancel events, because obviously the Masters is best part of, what is it?
3 weeks?
Is it 4 weeks away?
Yeah.
Realistically, the PGA is not that far after, is it? It's now in May.
They're pretty much every 4 weeks after, aren't they now?
Is it optimistic to assume all the other majors are going to go ahead as well? I don't know. I mean, we just don't know how long this virus is going to go on for. Some people are saying it's going to be lasting well into the summer months.
Well, I think it was yesterday morning. I think the RNA released a small statement just saying that they're as it stands, they're sort of working hard to make sure certainly the Open goes ahead. But who knows? But I think I think they will only cancel that if the government tells them that it's not happening.
I think so, and that's where in the UK all the professional sporting events that have been cancelled have been done so purely on the basis of the sport regulator or the body behind it. It's not actually been the government that's forced them to stop. So I think today we've had rugby league matches still played up and down the country.
Yeah.
But I mean, you were saying amateur events, they're starting to fall by the wayside as well. All the kind of big sort of mid-ams and country amateur events will be scheduled, no doubt.
Yeah, in the States at least, from what I gathered, a few of those events that are being played around about this time and into April have been cancelled. I guess part of it, this overhanging this whole situation that no one's really talking about explicitly, is just the insurance claims that would be filed, and I guess insurers saying that they're not prepared to cover these events if they do end up, they do sort of escalating and they kind of.
I mean, the magnitude is going to be incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you look at the sponsorship, the endorsement behind each of these big opens, every weekend on the PGA,
local economies.
Local economies, all the bookings, company, small businesses that depend on that. If you look
media,
at
journalism, freelance journalists, the lot.
We're freelance journalists, aren't we? I
Yes,
suppose.
we are.
Well, I suppose independent journalists, really. So,
yeah.
We'll weather the storm as best we can.
We haven't got enough chat to keep this pod going for the next 4 months without any professional golf being played, have we?
Well, then without any sport being played, it's gonna beg the question. Maybe we're gonna have to start doing some community-based events. But I think it does lead on a little bit to something I wanted to talk about, which is actually club golf, which I guess I came through the week and thought when the Players was cancelled the following day, and when everything was kicking up, and in the UK it is pure hysteria right now. So I think there is some truth in the severity of the virus and people's health and the concerns we've got there. What won't fix it is people going out to supermarkets and buying as much dried pasta and toilet rolls as they can. That's not going to weather the storm. And kind of the hysteria and the bubble around it. Actually going to my local golf club, I don't know about you guys, that just almost felt like a little slice of normality that I really need back in my life.
Oh, it was. That was quite refreshing earlier.
Yeah.
We did a little sort of 8-9 holes, and it was nice.
Little 9-hole jousty match play.
Yeah, just
Takes your mind off things, doesn't it?
And it was a good game as well. I mean, it was birdies to win holes. I mean, it wasn't budget golf. But I think if golf courses aren't safe, then
Where is?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you know what? There's been a couple of good pieces out there written about playing golf through this, and as you said, Sam, it's pure hysteria in the UK at the moment, and it looks like there's even more measures to come in over the next few weeks, and we might be battening down the hatches even more. But I think if people are deprived of their ability to go up to their local golf club and actually play a few holes, your sanity is going to suffer very, very quickly, isn't it? And it's hard to think of anywhere that really is as safe as a golf club to go and just get some fresh air and go and play a few holes, isn't it? I mean, you've got some sort of social distance as the buzzword.
You don't
at
touch
the moment.
other things. You only touch your own equipment. You are almost always several meters. In my case, several hundred meters away from your playing partners. That's horizontal distance, not me sort of bragging about distance of play. And like a little gentle knock of the elbow, and you have come out of there scot-free on germ contamination. So one of our listeners actually got in touch with us. So a friend of ours, Mark, out in Spain, was teaching a couple of guys at his local club. So he's like a sort of club professional out in Spain. The assistant's driven out on the buggy to them. This is very recently, and said, right, you need to come off the course immediately. The Spanish government has advised that all golf courses are to be closed indefinitely with immediate effect.
They've done that in Spain, I guess Italy as well, obviously.
Belgium is fully closed. We've also heard from one of our listeners in Austria who said Belgium Spanish courses are all fully closed. And from Tuesday, all Austrian golf clubs completely shut as well. Shout out to Flo.
And that's not even just the clubhouse. That is the course as well. Because you can see how some places might say, you know what, go and play on the course as long as you want, but just with staffing issues and just general hygiene, we're going to shut the facility. So sadly, you can't get a drink or you can't get a sandwich. That would be all right, wouldn't it? Because you could still go out with your mates.
Would have thought the greenkeepers would be all right, though.
The what?
Maintenance staff, greenkeepers, they'd be all right getting out there in the mornings.
Yeah, well, as I say, that when you're out on the course, there's not that much.
No.
You're not that, there's not that much proximity really going on, is there?
Exactly.
But
just to sort of, I mean, fair enough not letting people get out there or clubhouse or whatever, but got to keep them maintained.
Yeah, well, we were coming up with a few silly, I guess they're not really that silly, but a few recommendations for, still enjoying your golf in the midst of the Corona COVID-19 epidemic. So, a couple of quick tips that we came up with were leave the flag stick in.
Like it.
Virus can linger on apparently, according to expert medical advice, the virus can linger on surfaces indoors for 2 to 3 days. While that's probably a lot less when outdoors.
So leave the
not
stick in,
leaving the
even
flag
if it's
stick in,
leaning
not-
at you and knocking out 30-foot putts. Bruce.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, you got to prioritise your health over your score at the moment. Leave the flag stick in. At the moment, I'm focusing particularly hard on just trying to hit my driver out the middle so that I, maintain my usual 20 yards distance between me and Sam off the tee.
Oh, okay, got you. I was wondering how this connects to your health.
Anything inside 6 feet, you should be giving so that you maintain social distance. And then elbow.
Again, that's similar to usual game of golf with you, in my experience, Bruce.
Head down, not talking. Restrict reactions when you miss. So if there's any shots that you're not that happy with, restrict any kind of flustered rubbing of the chin or forehead in disappointment, and just try and weather your emotions as best you can. And then the final one was just, instead of that handshake, just go for an elbow bump on the 18th green.
And I think
So
they're
there
all
you go.
good. I think they're all good bits of advice, with or without Corona. Those. to
I
me.
think we're missing one.
Okay.
I think everyone needs to go Tommy Two Gloves as well.
Oh,
You lost me. You lost me on that one.
FootJoy, all weather,
both of them.
all surface,
You like those, don't you?
black. Tommy Two Gloves.
So safe, and then you could confidently take those off and then have a hamburger afterwards.
Yeah.
And try and solicit some. Well, no, probably not. He's going to that. Do you?
Oh, very good. But we did actually go out to some of our listeners and ask what's been going on at your golf club, because when these things happen, and these sort of things don't happen very often, right? You end up typically with a fairly consistent approach across the board.
Mm.
What's obvious to me is that is not the case. So
Because it's not government led, as you were saying earlier,
Absolutely.
it's kind of voluntary. Yeah,
And it's all largely driven by hysteria. So people making kind of really odd and sort of knee-jerky reactions. So our club at the moment has kind of put some hand sanitizer around, a fairly modest amount, but some hand sanitizer around. And
pretty reasonable.
Yeah, sensible step. Now, we have heard from quite a few, but we won't have time to go through them all. One of our friends down in Berkshire, his local club, any members returning from anywhere abroad are to stay away from the club for a period of 2 weeks, and no members are allowed to bring guests, and the club is not accepting green fee income from visitors. Discuss.
Interesting. Yeah.
A part of me feels that's. Initially, I want to say that's rash, but at the same time, I mean, we've had conversations where we don't think the UK is being as serious as other countries at the moment. But you can say, I mean, that's one way of dealing with it.
I guess the key question is.
I think it feels jumping on it a little bit too early there.
I guess the key question is, what's the worst that can happen if we have actually overestimated, or we've it's been a bit of a hysterical reaction, and it's nowhere that this virus isn't anywhere near as bad as first thought. What have we really lost? A few people haven't played golf with their friends who are non-members back in March, but the potential for the disease spreading, if we have underestimated it and maybe we haven't responded as sort of effectively as we could have, those negative consequences are potentially far worse. I don't know. I mean, you can make a good, reasonable argument one way or the other, can't you? There's so little information out there on how bad this disease actually is.
I mean, if that's been a club decision, and I guess if the books can afford it and all the rest of it, then
Why not?
Then fair
We'll take
enough.
the membership.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've also had another one from England Golf Project, a friend of ours, who's messaged us. So his local course requested all members to bring their own towels for showers. Now, I don't know. I'm assuming washing towels cleans them. I'm not quite sure what that achieves, to be honest with you.
That's
And
a
I
weird
don't
one.
share towels at the golf
Is that
club.
just people sort of, maybe it's people just as they go to pick them up as they've been snacked up? I don't know. Just
But
other
you could
people.
you could take that to the nth degree, though, couldn't you? So anyone who puts their hand on the bar,
Yeah.
or
I mean,
anyone who
yeah,
puts their hand on the
It's any surface.
on the door handle that gets you into the
Yeah.
locker room. It's kind of any surface, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
So we've had that, and then we've had another one from a friend, Golf Maven, opening but with extra cleaning and possible limits on cart use or pro shop. Cart use, I mean, they're out in cycle for 6 hours. They're going to get, I don't know, bit of antibacterial.
Again,
on
yeah,
handles.
antibacterial wipes, steering wheel, all the rest of it. Surely that's job done, job covered.
So yeah, well, we really hope that courses stay open. I really hope they do. I think it would be a real sad state of affairs in the UK if we started to get into a position of closing those and they were off limits to everyone.
We will see.
We shall see. So I guess without kind of putting too somber point on it, you know, what will be really interesting is kind of when we release next week's pod, we won't be talking live to you. It'll be pre-recorded, and that's for no other reason than the fact that was already planned. And we'll be coming back to you with live content on the 29th of March.
Yeah.
I guess at that point it'll be real crunch time. So, you know, we'll either look back on this pod's discussion, I think, as, you know, what they were spot on, you know, some of that stuff that was quite, we're actually like, they were way off the mark, and we are now in 28 days later zone.
Much ado about nothing. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah.
I sincerely hope it's the former. But
Yeah.
what I would like to say, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me, guys, our firm opinion is golf courses are good places to self-isolate. Get out there, go low,
Stick to our quick tips and look after yourselves.
Absolutely.
and enjoy.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Adios.
Watch this.